Yesterday we were discussing about the data flows and also fetching data from APIs. So while writing the data to the file from the API, the file is blank, right? So let us see how that can be solved. First of all, this web activity, I have shown you the web activity, right, yesterday. This web activity is only for testing. Okay, so you can provide the details here. If that is working, then you can directly create a data set using that. This web activity is just for testing purpose, if it is all working fine or not for the given URL and the endpoints. Yesterday we have seen this, we have tested it, we have got the data. So let's remove this activity. And then coming to the copy activity, we need a source and a sink, right? So for the source, we are using this arts data. Let's open this arts data and see. Open this arts data and see. Edit this. See here, uh, I'll do it again. Let's create a new data set for source on the copy activity source. Just 1 second, I'm getting. Sorry. So where are we? So we are in copying the data from API to file, right? So I'll do this again. Let me uh, discard all of this. Okay, let me close this as well. Okay, let's create a new pipeline. So let's drag and drop a copy activity. So inside this, we need a source and sink. So this time we are going to create new objects for the source and the sink. Okay, so on the source side, create a new data set. So this data set is from where? From the REST API. Okay, so we have to select this as REST. Select this, continue. So here, provide in the name of that data set. Let's make that as arts API data. Okay, because we are taking the arts data. So the service, linked service, I have created that yesterday, or let's create it freshly again. So let's say REST API linked service. So we already know that for accessing any service or any resource, we need a linked service in ADF. So for connecting to that API, we need a linked service that I'm naming it as REST API linked service. So here you need to provide the base URL. Let's get that URL from our Python files. Mhm. Okay, it will be here. Open with. Okay, this is the API. Let's copy this. One second, I'm just checking if we have modified anything else. No, that's the API. This is the URL here. Paste it here. So the authentication is this is anonymous. We do not have any credentials to authenticate this, so use anonymous. Uh, yeah, that's all. Just test the connection. Okay, connection is successful. Let's create this. Okay. So this is the arts API. Let's see. Now you will get the preview of that. See here, this is the data. So this is list of dictionaries. Okay, list of dictionaries. We have some lot of data here. Leave about the data for now. Okay. Now we have the source configured. Now let's go to the sink. What is the type of this data? This is of JSON data. If you see here, this is dictionaries, list of dictionaries. So this is considered as a JSON data. Okay. So now let's say write it as a, we have an option to write it as a single file or different files. Let's see. Okay, here it is not asking us. That's fine. On the sync data set, I will create a new data set because it has to be stored as a JSON file. Okay, where I need to store that on the data lake. See here, there is a JSON file. Select this JSON, continue. So I'll name this as arts JSON, arts data dot JSON. Okay. Linked service. Let's create a new linked service. Okay. Or we can use this existing one also. Better I'll create a new one because the file structure is different, right? ADLS JSON linked service. Okay. Select the storage account name. Okay. That's all. Let's create it. Sorry, .json is not required in the dataset name. Okay. Okay. Let's make it arts API data. Okay. So the data set is created now. We should provide the path where the file has to be landed, where the file has to be placed. This path I need to provide. Let's say I'll provide it in landing 2026 file. Uh, let's say 8. Here we have a lot of files already. Let it be. Okay. The file name, if you want to provide any file name, you can provide it. Otherwise, it will take the default one. Let's provide a file name or let's leave it. Let it take whatever. Okay, come back to the pipeline. Okay, we have configured source and sync. Let's see the copy behavior, flatten hierarchy, merge files, preserve hierarchy. So whatever is there, I just want to load as it is. I don't want to do anything. Okay, so just select this. And name of the pipeline is copy API data. Okay, so let's change the name of this also. Copy API. Okay. It is up to you. These all names are up to you. Let's publish all these changes. Okay, let's debug this now. Meanwhile, let's open our data lake to see the file. Sorry, this is again launching the studio. Data lake, containers, learning. Let's keep this open and see if the activity is completed or not. Okay, the activity is completed. Let's see the amount of data it has written. See here, this might be in kilobytes or MBs. Let's see. KB. I think this is in KB, kilobytes. Uh, let's go here. Go to the data lake. Refresh by, sorry, sort by last modified. See here, this is the recent one, 5.9. So let's see the data here. See here, if you see that square brackets are removed. So in the input data, we have that square brackets, but here that square brackets are removed because it's a JSON file, so that square brackets are removed. Okay, this is completely a dictionary now. Okay, so the data is loaded properly. This is how we load that. So we will see the flattening and all of that things later in the data flows. Okay, are we clear on the API? Okay. So whatever the API is, it's the same method. You have to use the URL and the relevant authentication method, get the data and load it to some storage location. Later you will process that using the data flows. Okay. Now coming back, uh, let's use the data flows now. Yesterday we did not find the relevant data sets, right? So let's create a pipeline. Okay, name of this is data flow. Let's make a data flows transform. Okay, let's drag and drop the data flow here. Okay, adjust the windows. Sorry, this is for calling the already existing data flow. Now what you have to do is go to home. Sorry, where is this? One second. Okay, it would be here. Data flows, new data flow. Okay, first of all, we need to configure our pipeline here and call this pipeline in the activities. Okay, so I have some CSV files. Let me show you. Hmm. Okay, close this. I'll show you whatever is required. Okay, let's take this customers. Okay, we have some, I have taken a small amount of data so that it would be easy to understand. Okay, when working with the Databricks and all, we'll deal with the huge volumes of data. Okay, we have 5 customers in the customers file, and coming to the orders table, we have the same customers. If you see here, these customers 1, 2, 3, 4, 101, 102, all these are the same customers who are purchasing some orders, who are placing some orders. Okay, so there is some relationship between these customers and orders. Let's see if there is any relation with some other something else, maybe a products. Okay, we have the product ID here. Let's see, do we have the product ID? in the orders table. Orders. Okay, there is no relation between this product and the orders. Okay, let's see order items. Okay, so we have a relationship between uh, the first one is orders. Orders would be the driving table or the main table. From that orders, we have order ID uh, and a customer ID. So from this table, we have an order ID and a customer ID. From this, we will know the customer details. Okay, from the customer ID, we will get to know the customer details. And from the order ID, in the order items file, we have some other details related to that order. Okay, see here, this is the order item ID and this is the product ID. So with this particular order, in this particular order, they are purchasing the product called 201. Let's see what that product 201 is. Okay, it's a laptop. Okay, so there is relationship between all these files. Now let's see. I'll try to join all of this using data flows. Let's go here. First of all, we need to upload this into the data lake. So let me create a directory with the today's date. Okay, so I'll upload all those CSV files here. First of all, let's extract that. It's a zip file. Let me extract. Okay, upload the files here. Browse. Okay, let's upload customers, orders, products, order items. Let's go one by one. Okay, I'll not join all the four at once. It will be very confusing for you. Okay, let's add the source. Our driving table or the main table is what? Orders. So we can use the generic data set, right? Because this is the CSV file located in the ADLS. So we can use the generic data set. Let's make this as orders. Okay, let's select the data set. It is generic lake files. Okay, so let's open this and pass the values. Okay, maybe it will ask us during the runtime. Let's see. Okay, generic lake files. Somewhere it should ask us the names. Okay, let's browse this. Landing 2026 5 9, and this is orders table. Okay, why was it not selecting here? Let's do the preview. Okay, here it is asking landing 2026 0509, and the file name is customers.csv. Okay, this is the data. Okay, let it be. So now go to the data flow transform. Let's remove this. Okay, go to the data flow transform. Okay, what is it? One second, I have accidentally closed the other one which is required. Let's use this. One second, let's close this. So, author tab. So here you have an option. When you click a plus icon here, you have a action called data flow. Click on that. Let's name this as data flow transform. Okay, add the source. Add source. Okay, this is orders. Select a generic data set, generic files. Okay, let's open this and fill the details for it. Click on review. This is orders.csv, my bad. Order.csv. Okay, so it is the orders data. Let's see if it is detecting here or not. It's not detecting here. Let's create a new data set using Azure Data Lake and a CSV file. This is orders. Already exist. Okay, let's make it orders one. Linked service. Browse the path. Landing 2026. 5, 9 orders. Okay, this would be the orders one now. Let's go to other options and see source options. All of these are not required. Okay, this is the data type detection. So if you want any other data types, you can modify this. So order date, maybe we can change this order date to a date field. Okay, but let it be the string because it is not in a proper date format. Uh, it should be year, month, and date. So let's keep this as it is. Order date, let it be the string. Let's click on data, detect data type. Okay, please, what is it saying? Please wait for any other data flow actions to complete. Okay, let it be data preview. I think that the data detection is still in progress. Okay, it has again detected as a string. Order data as a string. Let's go to refresh. Please wait for all data type detections and data preview operations to complete. Okay, it has detected, it has total 5 columns. Successfully detected, good. Okay, this is the orders data, right? So now let's read another data, which is customers data. So let's use customers. I'll name it as customers one. Okay, create a new data set using the data lake CSV. Name this as customers one. Linked service is this one and select the file location. This is customers.csv. Okay. Okay, we have added the source also. Now go to other options and see. I'll keep the default settings as it is. I'm not going to change that. Let's look at the preview. Okay, now the customer's data is also detected. Let's try to join these two. It has 7 columns. This has 5 columns. Let's join this. Join. We have already seen yesterday the type of joins. Let's make it as orders, customers. Okay. So here the left table. What is the left table? It's the orders table, and the right table is customers table. So let us say I want to find out the customers who have placed some orders. Customers who have placed some orders, which means the customer IDs are existing both in the orders table and also the customer table. This is orders one. Okay. I think in the data set I have given orders, but the name of the source is orders. Let it be. Okay. So here what it is showing customers one. Good. I'm going to do a inner join. Inner join on which column? Customer ID. In both the tables, we should do inner join on the customer ID. Okay. So now let's look at the data preview of this. The first columns till 5, these are the columns from the orders table and the other are the columns from the customers table, and this is used in the joins. Okay, this tick marks indicates these are used in the joins. Okay, let's look at the preview of this. Refresh. Okay, so these are the customers who have purchased something. The one column is from customer ID. This is available in both the tables. So it has given both the columns. Okay, right. So now let us see another operation. I just want to select a few columns from this. I don't need all the columns, so I just need only few columns. Okay, like the customer ID, it is available twice. I need it only once. So like that I have some requirements. So for that you need to write select. Okay, select. See, by default select is taking 11 columns. Okay, let's see why. See here there are options here. Skip duplicate input columns, skip duplicate output columns. So it is skipping the duplicate columns. That's why we are getting only 11 columns. Okay, I want to keep it. Or if you remove this, let's see how many we have. 12 columns. Okay. Now you can maintain it from here. Either you can remove it from here or you can select these options. Skip duplicate columns. So I'll better go with this. Now it has taken customer ID from the orders table, which is the driving table, main table. Okay. 12 mappings, one columns from the left, sorry, one column from the inputs left unmapped. So it is by default removing one of the columns. Okay. It is up to the ADF which it is going to drop. It's not in our control if we skip this, if we select these options. Okay, or else if you want to manually maintain, you can do that by selecting this. You can delete it. Okay, let's say I'm going to delete it. Now you have the customer ID from the customers table. It is up to you, whichever you want to select. So other than that, I want to keep all the other columns. Shipping city, order status, customer name, mail. Okay, let it be all of this I need. Okay, so let's look at the data preview. Whatever operations you are going to do with the SQL, you will be able to do with mapping data flows. Other than that, we will still be able to do uh, other things as well, like flattening the JSON file. We can do all of that. So order ID, customer details. shipping city. This is the city. This is the location of the customer, and the status is active. This is the customer status. Okay, and this is the order status. See this particular order is cancelled, and this particular customer is inactive. Okay, so maybe they have switched from that place to another location, so they might have cancelled that order. Let's say I don't want to consider this data. Okay, I don't want to consider this data. So let's apply a filter. For that, we need to apply a filter where customer is status is inactive, right? Sorry, customer status is not inactive. I want to filter out only active customers. Okay, so filter status. Let's say filter status. There should not be space. Okay, so filter on. It is asking what do you want to filter on. So write an expression here. Okay, what do I want to apply filter on? On the status column. Status equal to. I just want to take the active customers. Okay, status equal to active. I think we should use double equal to. Okay, save. It will take only the active customers now. And let us say I also want to add not cancelled. Okay, and for and we should use this symbol. And order status. 1 second. This order status should be after and order status not equal to. This symbol indicates not equal to. Okay, let us see if it is the same or not. Case insensitive. Okay, not equal to, or do we have it like this? Okay, let us see what. Okay, we have this not equal to cancel. So I don't want to consider these two state up filters. Let's save. Okay, this expression is valid. Let's look at the data. Look at the preview. Okay, let us see if we have that cancelled. See here, the cancelled order is not available now. That customer is also not available. So now it has taken only the active customers with order status not equal to cancelled. Okay. So let's say now we are good with the orders table. Let's go to the, I want to know, see here, from this what I'm able to infer, what I'm able to understand. There is a customer C01, his name is Ravi Kumar from Hyderabad, Telangana. He has signed up for a commercial website on e-commerce website on this particular date, and he has placed some order, this order on this particular date from this city, and the order status is still pending. Okay, but we don't know what product he has purchased, how much amount he has spent on that product. We don't know that details. So let's say I also want to know that. So where that information is available, what product, where that information is available, it's there on the order items. Okay, so here also we just have the uh, what item ID, order ID, and quantity ID. By looking at this also, I don't know what it is. Here it has the total price, unit price, and all of that. But looking at this, I don't know why. What is this 65,000 on which product I have spent this 65,000? I don't know. I means this customer has spent on which product this was spent. I don't know. So for that, we have a table called products. This product contains the product ID, and also order items contains the order ID. Okay. So let's join these two data sets. And finally, we will join this with uh, the existing flow. Okay, so let's see how. Now I want to add another two more data sets. Let's say data source. First, I will add order items. Okay, name this as order items. Okay, like this, you will be able to join multiple data sets, any number of data sets. I mean to say, data lake, continue, delimited. Okay, this is order items. And this is the linked service. So select from here, landing 26. Select the order items file, order items. Cool. Okay, order items is selected. So let's go to data preview. Leave about all the other options. Okay, let's see what we have here. Order item ID, order ID, product ID, quantity, price, and total amount. Okay, this is an individual data set. Now let's join this with, let's first of all add the products table here. Products one. Let's make it as products one. So select the new data set, continue, delimited. So I'll name it as products one. Select a linked service, browse the path, select the products file. Okay. Now let's join all of this. Okay. So let's say I want to join this. Join this with the what? Here, let's say join products orders. Okay. So right now there is no link between these products and the orders. So once I create a link that will get added. Let's see. Left data set is order items and the right data set is products. Okay, products one. So what kind of join I want to do? Let's say I want to do inner join. On which column? The product ID. So from the order items table and the product ID from the products table. Okay, let's do the data preview. Okay, now here this contains order ID, product ID. Now here we know the product and the order ID. Okay, but we don't know the customer here who has purchased that. So in order to maintain all of this information in a single place, again, we need to join this with another one here. Let's say I will join this data set with the products. I mean this data set, already filtered data set with this one. Okay, let's do a join orders, customers, products. Okay. So now filter by. If you see here for the join, we have only two tables. We cannot join three tables at the same time. So that's why I have done another join separately. and I'm adding this again as a separate join. So the right table here is the left table. The result set is the left table. One second, let me show you. This filtered data set is the left table. Okay, on the right side, I want to join products and orders. Okay, I'll do an inner join on order ID. In both the tables, I should join on the order ID. Okay, I have joined on order ID. Now we will have product, order, customers, all the information at the same place. Let's look at the preview. See here, it has now 22 columns. Okay, this has come up because I am joining. Where is this? This one. Join products orders. Reference, it has created it here. Let's see the output. Okay, now we have order ID. Order ID is repeating multiple times. Order date, shipping city, order status, customer ID, customer details, sign up date, and this is the product related information, product ID, quantity. So I just want to clean up this. Okay. So how I can clean up? I mean, what is the meaning of clean up here? The product ID, I don't want these many times. And also the order ID, I don't want these many times. Okay, I should maintain some meaningful data here. So let's say again filter the data, not filter, select the data. So while selecting, this has 22 and this has become 20 because it has eliminated the duplicate columns. Select result. Okay. So either you can skip from here or do the mapping from here. Okay. So I'll now this time I will go with this duplicates. Previously we have removed from the this list, right? So now I'll go with this one. And finally, let's say I want to write this to a table in the database. Okay. So finally, in order to write the data to the target, that is called as a sink. Okay, sink, I want to write it to a table. Okay, let's say this is SQL DB table. I want to write it to a SQL database table. So in the real time, this is what happens. After joining all the data sets, you will be writing that to a sink, which is the target. So select this new data set. This is SQL, Azure SQL database. Continue. Let's say data flow result. I want to name this table as data flow result. Linked services database. So I'll select the table later. Okay. So this table is not existing. Let's see whether either it can be created as a auto create, enter manually. Let's say within a DBO schema, data flow result. Okay, there is nothing to preview. Okay, this table is not existing. There is nothing to preview. I'm just looking for the option A where it can auto create. We'll go to sync. Let us see if there is any option here. Underscore is not allowed. Okay. Incoming stream is select result. Yes. Let's see the other settings. Okay. Recreate the table, which means the table will create. Uh, Pre-script, post-script, I don't need any of that. Errors. Okay, leave about all of this now. You can play around with all these options. Okay. Refresh. there is nothing to show right now. Okay, so let's publish all of this first. Okay, now this entire pipeline has to be called using a data flow activity. Okay, so let's go to, now we have created a flow, the data flow, that we have to call it using a data flow activity. Data flow activity is different from the data flows. I mean, different in the sense data flows are for creating the pipeline, and data flow is to call that pipeline. Let's go to author tab, create a new pipeline, drag and drop a data flow activity. See here, this is an activity. Okay, let's call this as trigger data flow transform. Okay, I'll name this as run data flow transform. Okay, go to settings. Here you need to select that transform. Okay, compute size, let it be the small one because the data size is very less. And parameters not required. Okay, let's figure this now. Publish it first. Okay, debug. Let's wait for this to complete. Okay, let's wait. It is running. Meanwhile, prepare a JSON file, or let's take the JSON file from here. See how we can flatten that. That is also important. Okay, let's prepare it. It seems somewhat clumsy. Let's prepare that. Okay, this is successful. What it has to do, the target, what is the final result of this? It should write the data into the table. So let's open our database. Sorry, I'll come back to this JSON object once we verify the table. Azure DB. Okay, it has run out of things. Go to query editor, SQL authentication. Sorry, not SQL authentication. Yeah, SQL authentication. Connect. Allow the IP. So connect. Let's see the tables. I want data flow result. Here it is. Data flow result is here. Let's create a new window. Copy the name. It has very less amount of data, less than 10 rows. But our concern is not about the data. Either it has worked properly or not. That's our concern. See here it has created the column names, order ID, order date, shipment date, sorry, shipping city, order status, all of this. Whatever is the result of that, it was written here. In the real time also, this is what happens. We will be getting files into the data lake through some processes, maybe from API, we'll be putting the data to data lake, and from there it will load to the database. Okay, so that's about the data flows. You can explore. There are a lot of things, so that all comes with the practice and exploration. Okay, so let me tell you few things before that. Okay, select any data set, the source data set. If you see here, there is an option called Hello Schema Drift, which means, let's say, while building the pipeline, our source, this orders table have 5 columns. Right now we have 5 columns. Maybe in tomorrow's file, we might get 6 columns. Okay, then the pipeline might fail because we are selecting the fixed number of columns into the downstream data flows. So the pipeline might fail. So in order to avoid that, or in order to handle the schema is nothing but the headers or the columns or the structure of the file or the table. If there is a change in the structure and you don't want the pipeline to fail and you want the same to be replicated on the target, if there is addition of new column into this file, that same column has to flow through the downstream. Okay, so in order to make that, we should enable this option called schema drift. So please read this. Select allow schema drift if the source columns will change often. This setting will allow all incoming fields from your source to flow through the transformations to the sink. Okay, so it will go through all the flows to the sink. Okay, so if you want to also detect the data types of the changed columns, not the existing columns, if there is any schema change, if you want to detect the data type of that, you should select this option. Okay, and validate schema should not be selected with allow schema. If you are following a fixed schema, then you can validate the schema. But if you are not following a fixed schema, if it all depends on the file, then we cannot do this. That is what it is saying. Should not be selected with allow schema drift. These two options cannot be selected at the same time. Only one of them has to be selected, either this or that. Okay. So both of them cannot be selected at the same time. This option is important. Please remember, in the interviews they might ask you, how do you handle schema changes in the ADF? That is through data flows. In the data flows, we have an option while reading the source data called allow schema drift. Okay, so that's it. And now let's create a simple JSON file. Let me open a notepad. Mm, let's write some data here. Okay, so I'll write the very simple one to understand. Okay, let's say we have a JSON data like this. Data. This is the key. You know what a JSON is. It is nothing but a dictionary in Python. So data, this is the key. So to this data, we will have again a dictionary, the list of dictionaries. So ID, let's say it is 100, and the name. I'll take my name. Let's say I have stayed in, let's say I have stayed in multiple cities, or I'm working in multiple cities, let's assume. So it has the keys like city, Hyderabad, another city. Sorry, Hyderabad has one dictionary and another city. Sorry, let's also open here. And another city. This indicates that this person has stayed in multiple cities. Let's assume that way. Okay, this is his cities. Close this and close this. This is my data. Okay, let's assume this is my data. So have we closed all the brackets? This is closed. This is not closed. Okay, this is closed here. This is not closed. Okay, now everything is closed. Let's see now how this can be flattened or how this can be read using the ADF data flows. Or similarly, okay, let's first of all, let's do this. Okay, I will save it as a .json file. Desktop, where is it? Test.json. Let's see if we have a JSON file here. Yes. Save it as a JSON file. Okay, JSON means key value pairs. In the real time, in this bracket, we might get lot of customers. Let's say I will have one more customer information. Okay, this is closed here. Once again, there is some issue with the brackets. Okay, then what it is. Okay, let's say here itself. Uh, okay, first read this. I'll try to flatten it and see. Later we'll see multiple objects. Go to data lake. First upload this file into the data lake. So where whatever the file is, it has to be there on the cloud location. Then only we will be able to do anything on top of that. So go to landing with the today's folder. Let's upload the file, JSON file. Okay, upload. So this is a JSON file. Now go to our data flows. First publish all of this. Okay, let's create a new data flow now. Click on this data flow, new data flow. Add the source. My source is JSON, that JSON file. Let's come here. This is test JSON. New data set. Go to data lake storage. The type of the file is JSON. Continue. So I'll name it as test JSON. Linked service is this one. So select the file. Test JSON. Schema input field error. Check if the data is valid for some format. Okay, let's validate this JSON. Looks like this is not a valid JSON. Let's validate it. So in the real time also you might be getting some invalid JSON files. In order to make sure that structure is format, you can open any of the online validators and you can compare it over there. Sorry, this is formatter, not validator. JSON validator. Let's paste here. Scroll down and validate. There is error at line 4. Let's see what it is. Okay, this bracket is additional. So this is closing here and it should close
Comma is
here.
missing after
Sorry?
the name. Comma is missing after the name.
Okay. Okay, one second. Let's paste it once again. Let's validate. Still we have errors. Okay, now it is at line 5. So this bracket is additional. This should not be here. First we need to close the dictionary. Okay, then dictionary is closed. After this we should have a square bracket and post that this should be closed. Let's validate. Still we have an error. Okay, now it is clear. Okay, so let's copy this and edit it here. Edit, copy paste and save. Okay, now this is saved. Go to data factory. Let's do this again. Okay, now it was able to read it. Okay, let's preview the data. Always do the preview, then only you will be able to understand if your data is properly reading or not. Okay, so data preview is good. Okay, now let's say I want to convert this into the proper structure like ID, name and cities. I want to convert this into a proper structure. Let's see how that can be done. So there are some options to be selected. So go back to the data flow. So on top of this data, I need to do something. So this is called flatten. Let's make it as flatten JSON. So these two options are important. This is the incoming string, which means what is the source data. This is the source data on which I want to flatten. Okay. So unroll by, which means on which key, what data exactly you want to unroll. Unroll means so something like this format enclosed in this square brackets. That option we need to provide it in the unroll by clause. Okay, let's see. Unroll by. This is one second. Cancel this. Unroll by. Add column. Sorry, it is adding multiple things. Okay, see here it is showing unroll by what. All of these are hidden. If you see here, if this is a proper format, all of them are hidden. In the unroll by, we should use the list object. Okay, so now come to the unroll root. So root also it is showing either the data or the cities. So I want to unroll the complete data or leave it blank. So let's see. Uh, okay, let's see the data preview. How what happens with this? Okay, malformed records are detected. It is failed. It could be because of wrong selection. Okay, let's go back. Remove these options here. You do not select anything. Okay, leave it blank. Now come back to this and refresh. Okay, it is still not working properly. Let's see what happened. Let's do mapping here. Text mapping. So I do not want this data column at all. I want ID as ID. Sorry, ID as ID. And after that, name as the name. Again, add mapping. After the name, you have city. Okay, city. Inside the city, we have, inside the data, we have cities. Inside the cities, we have a list with the key city. Okay, that city should be like a city. Okay, this is my mapping. Let's go to preview again and see. This should work. Hmm. Malformed records are detected. Fail fast. It could be because of a wrong selection in the document. Please try a different document form. Okay, let's go to source. The issue is in the source itself. Test JSON. Remove this option. Go to source options. Go to JSON settings. So consider that as a single document. Whatever file I have provided, consider that as a single document, not one line as a document. Okay, consider this single document. Mm, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Let's check this again. First of all, look at the data preview for the source. If the source preview is good, then we can deal about the downstream systems. Okay. Okay, now it is fine. Inside the cities, we have city 1 and city 2. Okay, this is fine now. Let's go to this flatten and refresh it again. Okay, see here, now this is properly flattened. For the customer ID 100, this is the name, and these are the cities in which that person was residing. Okay, let's modify this file. Okay, let's I have multiple customers. Now this is only one customer. Let's I have the other customers. Okay, so this object is starting at here. This is the record of one person. So similarly, let's add another person's details. ID is 101, and let's take the names from the participants. Okay, name. Let's make only one city for this person. Even though it is a single city, it should be, the structure should follow. Okay, so again, this has to be closed. The second object is done. Similarly, let's maintain 3-4 records so that ID number 2, name. Let's maintain 2 cities here. ID number 3. Let's maintain one city and I'll make one more entry. Sorry, the open bracket is missing here. We will validate the data, no problem. Let's remove this. Here also just open bracket is required. If you are good with the Python dictionaries, you will be able to understand what is right and what is wrong in this. One zero four. Okay, let's make this city as Bangalore. For some people, we have two cities. For few people, we have only one city. That's fine. Let's validate this first. If it is valid or not. Okay, at line number 6. Okay, open bracket is missing. Let's validate this again. Now the bracket where it is. This closing bracket, I did not provide it. Remove a comma here. Okay, now this is good. See, with the depth 5 means there are 5 objects inside this. Let's copy, paste it here and save it. Okay, the same file I have modified it to have 5 customers. Let's go to our data flows and refresh this again. Okay, let's refresh the source first. I think it is only detecting one customer. Let's open the source data set. Open this data set. Review the data. This has the full data. Sorry, I have a power cut. Please let me know if you are able to hear me clearly. See my screen and hear me properly. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, we have modified the source data set and we are trying to refresh that. Let's see this. Let's refresh the data here. Generally, we don't modify the existing files. Maybe that's why it was not detecting. Let's go to source settings. Okay, it is a single document. Is it showing all the data or only one row? Let us see. Again, anyways, this preview will show only one row. Let's do one thing. Go to source settings, create a new data set. I mean, that is the same, but looks like it is not getting refreshed into the data flows. JSON, continue. Let's name this as test JSON to link service. Select the file. Uh, test JSON. Okay. Let's enable the sampling. So sampling means in order to see the sample data, maybe 5 or 10 rows. Here we can maintain the limit number of rows. It is 100 rows. So source options, let's go to JSON. It's a single document, yes. Okay, this is the data. Let's refresh it. To refresh and it seems. Okay, now you have got all the 5 rows. Okay, so now go to this. The settings doesn't change. Let's refresh. Okay, now you have got all the rows. Whoever are having 2 rows, they have got 2 rows. I mean 2 cities. When I say 2 rows, it means 2 cities. See this person and this person. They have 2 rows each. Okay. So this is how you flatten the dictionaries. The two important settings are unrolled by and unroll root. In the unrolled by, you have to provide the list which you want to explode. Okay, and here leave this blank so that it will flatten, and you should provide the mapping. Okay, so the data is the main dictionary. Inside that we have cities, and inside the cities we have a state. Right. So maybe you want to write this to a table or a file again. You can write it. Let's say I want to write it sync. Okay, the sync is, let's make this the JSON table.
Your voice is breaking now.
Is it breaking?
Yes.
1 second. Is it audible now?
Little better.
Okay, I'll just complete this activity and I'll stop it because I have a power cut, not able to continue with the mobile data. Okay, just writing it to the sync. There is nothing new. Just to select the uh, database. So Azure SQL, continue. So I'll name this as JSON table, link service, enter the table. So I'll provide the table later. Okay, click OK. So now open this table, provide the schema and the details. DBO, JSON table. Okay, you will not be able to preview because we do not have any data right now. So go to this data flows, go to the settings of the sync. So remove this option schema drift. So this schema drift is required because when there is a change in the source file, if you want the change to happen on the target side also, then you can enable this option. Okay, so for now it's a JSON file. We are not going to do that because we have disabled that on the source as well. So now go to settings, create a table because I do not have any table with the JSON table. Create it. Okay, now publish all of this. Sync doesn't have any schema. Okay, let's see. JSON table preview I have provided where it is not having any schema. Okay, let's see the other settings. I'll recreate the table. Errors, mapping, transformation stream is invalid. Click to see errors. Sync dataset JSON table doesn't have any schema. Please import schema from your dataset or turn on allow schema drift. Okay, settings. Let's see. It is asking to enable schema drift. Okay, this is about the schema, which means whatever happening on the source that should happen on the sync, but we did not enable it. Okay, let it be. Let's see. Publish this now. Okay, let's see what it is. Allow schema drift if the source columns will change often from your source to sync for the transformation. Okay. Generally, whatever we enable on the source set, that we will enable on the target. Did I enable allow schema drift? No. Let's use this and try to publish what happens then. Okay, if any new keys come, that would be mapped. Okay, so now let's name this as data flow JSON. Data flow flatten JSON. Publish it again. Now call the activity data flow activity. Let's close all of this. Create a new pipeline and drag and drop data flow activity. You can name this as flatten JSON. Flatten JSON. 1 second, I have the power back. Let me connect to Wi-Fi. If it gets disconnected, please join back. This is not yet correct. Am I audible right now? Please
Yes,
con.
yes.
Okay. It's not breaking, right?
No.
Okay, then I'll continue. Okay, data flow. Name this as parse JSON or flatten JSON, anything. Okay, let's select the pipeline. Our pipeline is data flow flatten JSON using the small compute power. This is fine because our data size is so small now. Okay. Now let's debug this pipeline. First publish it to save the changes. Okay, debug it. So we are writing again to the table. So in the real times, most of the cases, we will be writing data to the table. Or some ways in some cases, we'll be writing both to the table and also to the file. So if you want to configure multiple things, you can do that. Okay, here click on more activity and write a sync. Now this time sync should be the data lake. You can do that. Okay, this pipeline is running. Let's wait. Okay, it was successful. 1 second. It is successful. If the data is returned to the table, let's see our database. The name of the table is JSON table, I think. Select star from JSON underscore TBL. Okay, the server logged out. Let's log in again. Yes. Okay, logged in. See. Okay, we have to log out, sign out and sign in. Connect this. Hello, the IP. Connect it. Let's run it. Okay, now this time we have the data. See here, it was loaded properly. Even though it was a JSON data, we are able to flatten it and load it to the table. Okay, that's about the data flows. You can explore more if you are interested. Okay, generally, they'll ask you when to use data flows and when to use the plain activities in the data factory. So the plain activities are mostly for general activities like if conditions for each activity or lookup, get metadata. These are general activities. These data flows are meant for transformations, not for the simple data pipeline. They're for transformations. Okay. So they might ask data flow or the mapping data flows. Both means the same. No difference at all. Some people call it the data flows and some people call it the mapping data flows. Okay. So let me switch my network if it is up and running. Okay. Hope I am audible. So now let's see few more important activities in the ADF. So there is an activity called until activity. Let's say the pipeline runs every day and it expects a file with a today's date. Okay, so the pipeline has to, we don't know when that file will come. Let's say it is expected to come at around 10 o'clock. It might come at 9:50 or it might come at 10 o'clock and 5 minutes. It might come at 10:30. So there might be a slight gap between the expectation and when it actually arrives. Okay, this delay is always expected in the real-time scenarios. One day it might come at 10 o'clock, one day it might come at 9:50, another day it might come at 10:20. There might be slight delay. So, but what I want is I need to have an activity which will keep on checking until that file is arrived. Okay. It will keep on checking until that file is arrived. Okay. So let's see how this can be done. So there is an activity. Let's create a new pipeline and we have an until activity. So until. Okay. This falls into conditions. If you see here, this falls into conditions. Okay. So let's create some variables. I think I did not tell you the concept of variables. Let's see that. We also have an activity to call set variable. Okay. So set variable. I'm just thinking whether to use variable for this or not. We'll discuss about the variable later. Let's see until activity first. Mm, Until the file arrives, I need to keep on checking. Let's go to the settings. So I should write an expression. If that file exists, that should be true. Okay, let's say get metadata. In order to check if the file is existing or not, what I should do? Get metadata. Is get metadata, I think it has to be inside the until settings. Expression of until activity, the value must evaluate to true or false. Let's first set the activity inside that. Until get metadata. Let's say uh, generic. I'll select the generic data set. Generic files, where it is. Generic files. The container is landing and the folder is, let's say I will take today's date folder. I'm hard coding it. You know how to write the expressions. We have done that multiple times. Okay, so let's say with the today's date, I'm expecting a file called test dot testfile.txt. Okay, I'm expecting this file with the today's date. Okay, so the field list, what I want to check, just I want to see if it is existing or not. Exist, yes. I want to see if it is existing or not. Now come to the general settings. Sorry, go to the main pipeline settings. Let's see the dynamic content. Until that get metadata becomes true, I want to keep on checking. Okay, let's go back once again. Let's rename the activity inside that. Get metadata. Check test file exist. This is my activity name of get metadata. Go back to this. Let's name it as until. Sorry, until file arrives. Okay, this is the name of the activity. Sorry, pipeline. So this is until file exists. You can name anything. It is up to your convenience. Okay. So the settings. Now write an expression here. Until that metadata becomes true, that file exists true, it has to keep on triggering. Let's run this. Add dynamic content. Check file exist. So output dot exist. You know already how that get metadata works, right? It will produce an output with a list of fields. In that list, I want to check exist if the file is existing or not. So this should be true. So that should be equal. Let's write an equal operator at the rate. Here we should write equal, comma. This should become true. I think it is equals. Yes. Okay. If this becomes true, if this is true and this is true, then this condition will satisfy. If this becomes true, this is the condition. So it has to keep on checking. Okay. Inside until activity, we are writing this. Okay. So if it is true, then we need to do something. Okay. So let's say I'll write a copy activity. After this, I will write a copy activity. You can run this. I mean, link it. So the source is the generic file. Whatever you are trying to, whatever you are trying to search in the until activity, the same thing you have to take it here. In the generic files, under the landing folder, landing, and the date folder is 2026 05 and 09, and the value should be, let's add the dynamic content. File name is not a dynamic, sorry. File name is test file dot txt. That is what I am checking in the metadata. Okay, this file, this is the source. Let's say I want to move it into the target. Target is also, I will select the generic file, but into the processed folder. Let's say I want to keep it in processed container. Okay, so I'll leave all of this as it is. Let's debug this. So right now we do not have any test file in this. Copy data, no value provided for parameter folder, no value provided for parameter file. Okay, it's not accepting without the folder and the file. Let's see. The folder what we have in the processed. Let's close this. Come back to the main container, processed. Okay, I just want to maintain 2026. 2026. The file name is also test file dot txt. Okay, let's publish the changes first. So this until activity is used to check until the condition becomes true. It is waiting. It keeps on waiting. Okay. So let's see again. In the activities, I'm doing a metadata activity. Okay. It is checking for the file test file.txt in this particular folder. So let's see in our landing container with the today's date, 5/9. With the today's date, we do not have the test file.txt. So, but I'll trigger this pipeline. Go to this. Now trigger this pipeline. Let's see what happens. Okay, until file exists, this is the outer activity, and inside that it is checking the file exists or not. See, this time it was successful. Okay, the output of this is false because the file is not existing. Again, it has run for the second time, and again it is false because the file did not arrive yet. So unless this condition becomes true, it will not execute the further activity. See, even irrespective whether it is uh, success or failure, it is not triggering this activity because only when this becomes true, then only it will trigger the next activity. Let's say I'll make it, I'll here. Uh, let's make this desktop. Okay, let's say I'll copy this as a text file. Save as test file as a plain text file. Okay, I think this is a way other format. Let's maintain is .txt.
It will automatically saves in text file.
Okay, okay, let's upload it here. Test file.txt. Yes. Okay, this is the text file now. Let's go to here, and I will not do anything. It keeps on running. Okay, every time it is false, maybe this time it should return true or in the next run. Okay, because this run already started. Let's wait for this completion. Okay, see here this time The activity returned true. The get metadata is true and the copy activity is triggered. Okay, the copy activity is triggered. Let's wait for this to complete. This is also one of the most important scenarios used in the real time, and also in the interviews they'll definitely ask you this. How do you keep on waiting without triggering the actual activity until a certain criteria is met? That is possible through until activity. Inside the until activity, you need to write that condition or the check, and if that is true, you have to do something. It is like a plain if condition, but if condition, it will run only one time. If it exists, it will run that activity. If it doesn't exist, it might fail or it might do whatever we have said in the false condition. But this until is also similar, but it keeps on executing until that condition becomes true. Okay. So now the pipeline is completed, right? So the pipeline is completed, it won't run further. Let's come to the processed folder and see if the file is placed or not. Okay, let's test file. I'm not bothered about the contents inside that. Okay, so that's about the until activity. And we have one more activity called fail activity. Okay, fail activity. So if some pipeline fails, till now, if any of the pipeline fails, it gives some message based on how the ADF was designed. Okay, but now instead of ADF giving the message, I want to write my own customized error message. Okay, so you want to intentionally fail a pipeline with some custom message, then you will write this fail activity. Let's say I'm writing this in extension to the same activity, fail activity. Okay, let's write this. So in case of failure, I want to run this. Okay, in case of the pipeline failure, I want to run this. Okay, see, till now what I have, how I have linked the activities on success. This is on success. If this is success, then it should go to this activity. If this is fail, it will stop here itself. It will not go to the next one. So in case of this is failed, that is what I have used. If the copy activity fails, I should go to the fail activity then. Okay, so we have some other options. What is this? On skip. If you want to skip this, I mean, if it is skipped, then what do you want to do next? Uh, what is this other option? On completion. On success or completion, both means the same thing. Completion means that irrespective of whether it is failed or success, the execution is complete. That's the difference between success and the completion. Okay. So now intentionally I want to make this pipeline fail and I want to write some custom message. So this is fail copy. Okay. So now go to settings. Here I have to write the fail message. Whatever I want to write, I can write it here. Let's say because I know why is it going to fail. I know. So this is going to, I will make this fail because of an issue in the target side. Let's say I will give some target path which is not existing. Let's say I'll provide it like this. This path is not available on the target. Okay, it might fail or it might create a folder. Let's see either it fails or it will create a folder, but in the copy activity, I'll write it as target folder is not existing. Okay, you might want to write some error code, let's say 100. It is all in your control. Whatever message you want to print, that's all in our control. So let's debug this now. This is mainly used during the pipeline build process, not in the production pipelines. Okay, it is again checking if the file exists or not. This time the file exists because I have already placed it. Okay, now it has triggered the copy activity. It has to fail or it is on the target side. Maybe it creates a folder. Let's see. If it creates a folder, I'll try to do something to make it fail. Okay, this is successful. Might be that folder was created. Let's see. Refresh this. See here, the ninth folder is created. Let's do one thing. So this time, see, this fail activity is not triggered now. Okay, because it was successful, so it won't trigger the next activity. So go to the sync. Let's make this as 9net. This time it would definitely fail because the source is expected to be already existing. On the target side, if it is existing, it will write into that. Otherwise, it will create a new folder. That's how it is behaving. Now I'm triggering this one more time. Okay, let's wait. Okay, file exists. This is true. Now copy is performing. It has to fail. Yes, it has failed. Uh, okay, this is in the failed activity. It is saying user file not found. The specified path does not exist. Okay, this is the message provided by the ADF based on how it was designed, how it was expected to work. Okay. Okay, let's say I'm new to the ADF. I don't understand what this is telling. By looking at this error message, I'm afraid that what is this big message? I'm not able to understand anything. Let's say this. Let's understand that way. Okay. So now for that you have written something here. See this target folder is not. There is a spelling mistake. Leave about that. Target folder is not existing. So by looking at this, you will be able to understand. Oh, the sync is not having the folder. Okay, so in order to write customized messages and intentionally fail the pipelines, that is what we need to use. Okay, so that's about the fail activity. Generally used for the development purpose, not really used in the production pipelines or even in the production pipelines. Let's say in case of copy activity, let's say you want to have one pipeline in case it completes successfully, or else you want to make this uh, direct to the fail activity. Okay, that also you can do that. In case of success, it has to do something else. In case of failure, it should return to the fail activity or the failure message should be written from this. Okay, so that's about the fail activity. So now let's see the set variable. So create a pipeline. Okay, let's see here. You have a variables here. There is an option called variables. Okay, let's say I will update um, current date. Let's say current time or current date, whatever it is. Current time. Let's say it is 11:54. I will make it string because this semicolons, all of that might not be able to understand if you provide some valid format. Okay, let's say the current time I have provided a variable as 11:54. Okay, so I want to update this during my pipeline run. Okay, let's say for that we have a option called set variable. Sorry, it's in set variable. Here, activities, set variable. Okay, let's say use, I have set one activity at the one variable at the pipeline level. Okay, current time, let's say current time 11:54 p.m. Sorry, it's AM. 11:54 a.m. current time. Now using the set variable, let's see what we can do. Go to settings, the variable name. See here, you have already added a variable called current time. So maybe you want to update this. Okay, let's say I want to update this with the current timestamp. Let's say whenever I run the pipeline, it should return the current timestamp. Let's say under the functions, we have UTC. Okay, let's say I want to convert from UTC. Convert from UTC Doesn't accept zero arguments. Okay. So here, let's see, convert from UTC to, I don't know what options it accepts. I want to convert this to IST. I don't know if this works. I'm just giving a try. Okay. So it is also giving the example. If you see here, if you hover on this, convert from UTC, converts a timestamp from universal time coordinated to the target time zone. For example, convert from this date to Pacific Standard Time. Okay, PST. Here it is giving PST. I am giving IST. Okay, so that's all. So let's do this. Right now, the value of this variable is 1154. I want to update this. Okay, let's run this. Okay, it failed. Why? In the function convert from UTC, the provided value is not valid. I think I need to provide the full name of that Indian Standard Time. Let's check in Google. The time zone ID must be this. Instead of IST, we should write the full form. Let's try with this. Debug the pipeline. So meanwhile, okay, it will complete quickly. It doesn't take much time. So it was successful. Now the timestamp is converted to this 1158. Let's go to our variables and see if it was converted or not. Okay, it was not converted here. Okay, let's say if you are using some activity in our next pipelines, and if you are going to use that variable, then that particular timestamp, sorry, then that particular timestamp will be taken. Let me show you. Okay, if we are using this variable in the next activities, okay, then that particular timestamp will be taken. Let's say I will do a copy from this. This variable, whatever we have set, that is like a default value of the variable. So during the pipeline run, you can update the value of this. That is the intention of using the set variables. Copy. Okay. Inside the copy in the source. Let's copy this customers along with the data available in the customers table. Let's say I want to have a new column. This column name is current timestamp. Okay. So that current timestamp, I will add it from the previous variable. Let's say this add dynamic content. So 1 second, why is this not showing? The output of this should be referred here. That's what my intention is. Let's add dynamic content. Custom. What is the variable name? Current TS, I think. Current TS. Customized value of additional column cannot start with this one. 1 second, let's see. Prefer variable in ADF copy. Variable stuff at the variable on the field where you want to exchange data set also select add dynamic content. Okay, at the rate variables. Okay, got it. Okay, let's go to add dynamic content. Go to variables. Okay, here it is under the dynamic tab. Sorry, variables tab, not under the parameters. Okay, click OK. So this additional column will be added now. Let's run this. Sync data is required. Okay, I did not provide the sync. Let's say I will provide to the data lake itself under the processed with 2026. Okay, let's debug it. No value provided for parameter file. Where is the parameter file? One second, let's see if we have provided any parameters. Go to settings, source, additional columns. This is the one. Sync is this. Let's trigger it. Provided for parameter file. Where is this parameter file? Oh, here. Okay, what should I copy? What did I provide in the source? Customers. Okay, on the target also, let's maintain as customers. In the generic dataset, this is a mandatory. That's why it was asking. Debug. Now it should take the timestamp as 1203. But without using this set variable, if you write that variable, it will take 1154 every time. Okay. So if you want to update based on your pipeline, and it's not only the timestamp, maybe some variables, whatever it is, you should do that using the update variables. Copy activity field. The value of property is in unexpected data type. Unexpected type list 1. Uh, let's delete this. One second, let's delete it and add it freshly. Okay, add columns, dynamic content, variables, current timestamp. Or one second, let's delete it one more time. Add the column name is load time. Here, add dynamic content. For the load time, I will add the dynamic content. This time, the variables. Okay, this is the expectation. Let's debug. You can directly use the current timestamp, but I'm showing you if you want to set some variable and assign the value to that, that is how you should do. It is not necessarily the time always. It should be some additional column or the derived column. Now let's see the output of this set variable. Okay, this is 12.5. Let's wait, it will count it. I'll stop it with this activity. Don't worry. So maybe in next 1 or 2 sessions, we will wrap up ADF. We are left with the triggers and integration runtimes. In Monday's session, we will cover that. Go to process to refresh this. Okay, we have the customers file. This will have an additional column called current time or whatever time it was, load time. Yes. So this 12.5, it was added from the set variable. Okay, so one question here is, what is the difference between the parameters and the variables? So once a parameter is set, it cannot be altered during the pipeline run. So if you set the parameters, if you want to alter that during the pipeline run, there is no option called set parameter, right? But you can alter the variables. You can set some default value to a variable and you can alter it during the pipeline execution. Anywhere you can use the set variable and you can use the same variable name and update that. Okay. So that's the usage of the set variable. Okay. Let's save this, publish. Okay, I'm stopping it here. So in our next session, I'll write down the topics so that I don't forget. I'm going to cover linked service. Linked services we have already seen. Integration runtimes. Integration runtime. Triggers. Another is watermark concept. This is most important. I'll tell you this watermark for incremental load. Okay, these three concepts we are left with in ADF or maybe alerts and metrics. In case of any failure, we should get an alert, right? That also I'll discuss. I'll not be able to set up this alerts, but we will discuss this. Okay. So these four concepts I'm going to discuss and post that we'll start with the Databricks and PySpark. That's all for today. Please let me know if you have any questions in this. Hope everybody of you have created your own free trial accounts and started practicing. Otherwise, it would be a lot of confusion. Thank you.